Good luck, Agbara Agbarage. I'm the chairman of Okana Unity Forum. We received the news that the president has honored the Ogoni 4. Ogoni people are happy with that. That's what we've been clamoring for. We are very happy that the president has done this. And I can tell you, the Ogoni people will reciprocate this kind gesture. The president has done well. You know, he also asked that the security advisor liaise with the Ogoni people on how to resume oil exploration in the Ogoni land. You can be very sure that Ogoni people will help the process because we are happy with what he has done. I know some persons will say they are still doing remediation in Ogoni land while the oil exploration. But I can tell you, Professor Neni Barinizabi is doing very well. And because he's doing very well, we don't have a problem. We are sure that the remediation will go on properly. Mangrove are being planted in Ogoni land. The lost vegetation of mangrove is being planted. So we are happy with the process. And as well as the federal government will work with the Professor Baridan committee, we trust the caliber of persons in that committee. So Ogoni people are happy. If they want to resume oil in Ogoni land, we don't have a problem with it. Ogoni people are happy with it. So we thank Mr. President. There's jubilation in Ogoni land. We just pray that whoever that has the responsibility of liaising with the Ogoni people would actually make proper consultation.
Well, so that is the voice, or let's say also the track or conversation we had with Mr. Goodluck Baragbaraje, who is the chairman of Okana Unity Forum. It's no longer news that the president yesterday conferred posthumous honors on the Ogoni 4. They are Mr. Edward Kobani, Albert Bade, Samuel Orage, as well as Theophilus Orage. And shortly after that posthumous conferment, there were indications that the federal government is taking a look at restarting production of crude oil in Ogoniland 31 years after it was stopped. However, there have been questions as to how far so far with the implementation of the 2011 UN report, which recommended a cleanup of Ogoniland before a restart, it was saying, of production. This morning, we're joined by the chairman of the Board of Trustees of HYPREP. HYPREP is the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project. We have to thank Mr. Emmanuel Odeya, beg your pardon, for joining us this morning. Mr. Odeya, it's quite a lot to take in because we did hear when the 2011 report was submitted by the UN Environmental Project that it would take at least, program. It was going to take at least 30 years, almost 3 decades, to complete a total cleanup of the damage that had happened in Ogoniland. How far so far?
Well, that report recommended, first of all, let me thank you for having me here.
Thank you for coming.
That report recommended that there should be a contribution of $1 billion US for the first 5 years, initial. And the oil companies have complied because they were asked to contribute 35%. NNPC was supposed to provide 55%. They've done 89.9% of that. The refineries were supposed to provide 10%. They've not given us a dime. And then the federal government was also supposed to provide $10 million US as takeoff funds. They haven't done that.
The federal government hasn't done that?
No, they haven't. So, but at this point, with the much we have gotten, so much has been done. But I would like to say that during that scientific studies, there were still some communities that had issues. The study team couldn't have access. And some of the communities, there were hostilities, you know. So we still need more money to complete the study of the areas that were not captured then. And right now, we have, they've done 2 stages. They are on the 2nd phase of remediation. And remediation has to do with cleanup of the soil, you know. But there is these ones that were heavily impacted. There's a place called Isuzuken in Eleme that there was a blowout during the Civil War. So the spillage was massive. So in such very highly impacted areas, the facilities or the expertise to do the cleanup is not available. I think during the time of the last board, they went to Germany and some of these countries to see what they have there and if they can be of help to us. So, and there is also the livelihood. You know, the devastation in Ogoni land affected our land, and we also have fishing settlements. And so there is also what they call mangrove revegetation, because we lost our mangrove. And so right now, that is on. Water is being provided in some communities, and then men and women are being trained in different skills to, you know, like now you can't go to farm the way you used to go before. So what you have to do now is look for some other ways of survival until the restoration is complete. So it's on. Yeah. I would say it's on.
I want to get your thoughts on some of the kickback that we're seeing from groups in that part of the country, where they're saying, look, this consultation should have been done with more stakeholders than the ones that were part of the conversation. And of course, this idea that we have to do cleanup of this place, and then they say total exoneration of Sarawiwa before any of those things, any of the exploration begins. Just your take on the groups that are saying that right now.
Well, let me start with the issue of exoneration and all of that. Two persons had misunderstanding and they were far apart. Coming together is step by step. I have everything done in one day. Now, I want to commend the president because I was active in the struggle. I was in the House of Assembly at that time, so at least by that status, I was opportune to participate in some of the meetings and all of that. When it was on, you know, I would say that a lot of our people got some kind of misconception. You know, people were telling them that if we succeed, we are going to be like Saudi Arabia and all of that and all of that. We are part of a country governed by the constitution and laws. So we can't act out of it. What the president has done, I commend him. First, pardon, and then give him post. Because when the first set was done, you know, there were reposts. Because after Oputa panel, we no longer addressed Ogoni 4, Ogoni 9. We all said Ogoni 13. So that was, you know, but thank God the president has resolved that now. So we are making progress. And when you talk about a community, you must expect that there will be divergent views. But where does the majority stand? At this point, I'm part of that committee who went out to the 4 LGAs and even did virtual communication with those who are in diaspora. And the aggregate of the opinion, you know, of these different groups was collated. And that was what we sent to the president a few days back. And if we have done that, and we have seen some steps, for example, we have the Federal University of Environment and Technology, which was not there before. The East-West Road was completely abandoned. I remember when the former president, Buhari, was in office, we went, delegation, and they considered to NNPC and all of that for the road to be done. But nothing was done. At least today, of the 2 lanes, people can drive home on one of the lanes, not complete yet. But we are seeing steady progress, which was not there before. We are cut off. So when you see these things in place, what does that tell you? Confidence building measures from the government. So what are we expected to do? Open our place for them to come in. Now, don't forget that the UNEP report also talked about decommissioning. What does that mean? It means that these pipes, the pipes that have been underground for this number of years, some of them are corroded, some of them are bad. They need to come and look at them and see the ones that need to be changed. And then, a few days back, we had some spillage in a community in Kana and another one in Eleme. So, if you're cleaning up and there are these occurrences again, what does that tell you? It means that something has to be done properly so that when they take off, when this resumption of activity, so the presidential pronouncement doesn't mean they are going right there now. It means that steps will be taken to fast track it. Before this time, I can tell you, all the previous government, never was there any gathering of people in the open. Meetings were held openly to collect views. Groups were allowed to come and speak.
Is this all because yesterday a number of people were concerned that there was this indication that they want to restart the production of oil when the cleanup has not been done? Yes, the federal government has taken some steps which you have spoken to, pardon, controversial or not, of the Ogoni 13 now, and also the conferment of posthumous honors. But you just mentioned that they are even yet to pay their own $10 million, which they ought to have paid for the cleanup. Can we really be talking about restarting prospecting and production of oil without a cleanup?
No, let me explain something to you. I have a background in microbiology. Microorganisms also degrade some of these hydrocarbons. We have a natural process in some of these places where when they went to go and do a study, a survey, they found out that over time, naturally, those places are regenerated and they are working. Now, the places that they have this, what do I call it now, skills of cleanup that needs to be done, it's not everywhere. It's in some places. So it does not mean that if they want to come and start production, they cannot, because these places are not done. Does that make sense? We have the studio right here now. Where I'm seated is polluted. Are you saying that work cannot be done here or things can be done in this place?
You shouldn't say the work you're going to do here is going to add to the pollution.
See, the point that you need to understand here is that they're not just going to come and start overnight. There will be studies. There will be activities to look at assessment. They've left for over 30 years now. So coming back is not going to dig the ground and start production. What the president did was a presidential pronouncement. Am I making sense? Okay. So, the thing is that understanding of these issues is individualistic. Do you understand? So, but you need to understand that the president has to make a pronouncement for activities to start. In that pronouncement, he also said that there will be multifaceted, groups, MDAs, groups, Ogoni people, responsible organizations will come together and look at issues concerning it, and then take off. So what is that? The oil that is on the ground, you want to swallow it?
Well, so how much longer do you think it would take? I mean, when can people say, oh, right now they have seen substantial work being done by Hyper?
Now, let me say again that we live in a world
where... We have 1 minute for that question.
Let me say a word that everybody has his or her own expectation. Now, if they have done water in about 21 communities now, and more are on, coming, they are still coming, what do you expect? And we are seeing progress, we are seeing signs. It's not that the money is completely exhausted. We still have some money that other activities are coming up.
So the people of Ogoni land can look forward to more better days ahead. Well, we have to thank you very much for sharing your thoughts this morning with us, Mr. Emmanuel. Well, we have to thank you very much for sharing your thoughts this morning with us, Mr. Emmanuel Deya, who is the chairman Board of Trustees.
Ogoni Trust Fund.
It's Ogoni Trust Fund?
Yes, because we have the governing council, we have the project coordinating office, and the Ogoni Trust Fund.
Okay.
We warehouse money.
All under HIPREP?
Yes, part of HIPREP, all part of HIPREP.
Ogoni Trust Fund under HIPREP?
Yes, we warehouse the money because this money is only for the cleanup in Ogoni land. We receive the money whenever they need, we pass it to them.
I see. Well, we have to thank you for sharing your thoughts this morning with us. And that's where we'll have to wrap it up this beautiful Friday morning. We hope that we have made your day a little brighter. And we wish you a most wonderful weekend. Thank you for watching.